Welcome back to another episode of the VSOP Lounge. I, of course, am your host, DeJuan J, captain of the cool kids, host of the Grown Man Logic podcast. What's going on, everybody? Did you guys enjoy the last episode? If so, and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you know unequivocally when we drop. It's every Sunday and Wednesday for those of y'all who don't know. But tonight we got some shit to get into, and this is gonna get heavy. But as always, let me acknowledge the drink of the evening. It is a Paloma. The summertime is here. The humidity's sweating. You need something nice, refreshing, and crisp. Your Paloma is going to do that for you. But tonight, grown-ups, we need to have an adult conversation. We need to talk about power couples. Now, I can scroll through my timeline and throw a rock at everybody or anybody posting a couple on vacation, a woman with a balcony view, a couple on the beach, a couple at a fancy restaurant, and then the hashtags start to pour in. Hashtag couples goals, hashtag love, hashtag black love, hashtag power couple, and there, right there is where I have the problem. Tonight I am going to be talking about the truth about power couples and why you may not exactly want what you say that you want. Why is it? Okay, first let's define who we're talking about here. Okay, a power couple, in layman's terms. Oh, actually, let me give you the official definition. Influencers and successful people individually that have come together for a collective goal of dominating both environments. Simply put, it's when an alpha male meets a boss bitch and they decide to try and make it work. What's an alpha male, you might ask? Well, somebody that's confident, intelligent, bold, demanding. That's about 70% of your senior executives fall into an alpha male category. About 70%. What's a boss bitch? Killer career, trendsetter, fashion always on point, no bonnets. No bonnets. Fashion on point daily. An influencer, a go-getter, killer instinct, no wasted time, commands respect, and calls the shots. Now, we're all grown-ups here, and some of you guys can forecast exactly where I'm going with this. How can a shot caller and a demanding individual coexist? The problem that I have with the hashtag power couple and people who aren't necessarily ready for this is that you don't know what you're getting into. You just want the outcome. You want the vacations. You want to be flown out. You want the vacations. You want the jets and nice cars and the fancy clothes and the big house. But are you ready for lonely nights? Extended time apart. Unwillingness to compromise. And there's huge differences, okay? There's huge differences in terms of how power couples and how average couples handle business. There are eight differences on how power couples handle business different from average couples. Difference number one, brainstorming. In other words, you have to have a career. This is usually your entrepreneur, your corporate America, someone in charge of acquisitions and mergers, someone that's going to be in front of people leading people and has to present different dynamic ideas to keep his or her people engaged. So we brainstorm together. Hey, babe, I was thinking about X, Y, and Z. What do you think about this? And she's like, well, if you do A, B, and C, then you win. Maybe you guys meet in the middle, marry at L. Number 2, they improve as individuals as well as a unit. Can't afford to lose yourself. And a lot of the times what happens in an average couple's relationship is that you want the time. You want the time. You can't stand the long hours. Distance is going to kill you. But you have to be so focused on yourself that you're constantly developing and improving in yourself. And that way you can bring that improvement back to the unit. Number 3. This kind of foreshadowed with number 2, but number 3 is you have the ability to support each other, even if it means taking turns. There's strategy to this that a lot of people, quite frankly, aren't ready for. Yeah, I'm gonna work full time while you go to school and finish your degree. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom as you work on being promoted inside of the ranks of that company. I'm not going to make this move that'll put us in a better spot in Florida because you can't afford to lose your job and it doesn't make sense for us to make this move. You have to have the ability to put what you want on hold for the betterment of the couple, for the betterment of the house. There's strategy behind it. And quite frankly, a lot of people claim that they want this kind of stuff, but they're not ready for it. Are you healed enough as a person to be able to put your own thoughts and your own goals on pause for a second because the greater good is you waiting? Can you do it? A lot of us aren't built like that, and I see it. I can see it coming in the comments. I can see it coming in the email right now. I'm ready for this. I've been ready. Sure, I'm able to do this, but I'm trying to tell you there's levels to this that you guys, quite frankly, you're not built for it. The average person's not built for power couple shit. Because if the average person was built for it, everyone would be doing it. Number 4, exercise together. We've spoken on Grown Man Logic podcast several times. Kevin Samuels preaches it to the moon. Fit, friendly, feminine, cooperative. Fit, feminine, friendly, and cooperative. Now, what's the benefit of this? Why does this matter? Because at that point, it's low tension. There's a sense of stress relief there. You can kind of talk in a tensionless environment and just work stuff out. Not to mention that you guys are in something together. You're in a struggle together, which can only strengthen the bond of the relationship. So exercise together. Go on a walk. Go on a hike. Get matching mountain bikes and go for a ride. Rollerblade. Ski, snowboard, exercise together. Number 5, and this is a big one. This is huge. Divorce when it stops working. Here we go. That probably triggers some people, but it's okay. It's okay. When you're on a power couple level, the marriage is simply a business. It's a brand. Look at Bill and Hillary Clinton. They stayed married. Power couple. Stayed married. Stayed married because it's part of the brand. She stayed with him through infidelity. He stayed with her through some scandal. Through a bid for president because that's what's best for the image. That's what's best for the brand. Now with that comes some heartache. It comes some pain. It comes a lot of frustration. But what's the greater good? Is it better that you sacrifice some tears now for a major bag later? If you can't see the logic behind it, you can probably stop listening now, because it's not going to get any better. But when it doesn't make sense anymore, when it doesn't work anymore, you have to be able to walk away. You have to you have to be able, ready, and willing to walk away, because it doesn't make sense. In the power couple land, it's treated like a business. And in the business world, everything that's not an acquisition, everything that's not an asset, is a liability. So you can stay along, drag it along all you want to. The only thing that's going to happen is a lot of stress, a lot of frustration, a lot of heartache. Nora Ephron said, never marry a man you wouldn't want to be divorced from. In other words, if you can't split amicably, right, you probably shouldn't be in that situation. Number 6. And here's where you Instagram folks are going to get in trouble. Here's where you social media influencers, you hashtag couples goals people, here's where you guys are going to get in trouble. Avoid limelight. I can't tell you how many times I click on social media and I see a picture of somebody at a fancy restaurant, and all you see is a picture of their plate and a man's hands or a woman's hands, or they're driving in a car and all you see is a man's hands or a woman's hand. You have to avoid the limelight, because you don't know who's plotting on your downfall. And honestly, the only thing that you're doing is inviting other people into your lifestyle. And you're advertising your relationship. Now, if you're a power couple and people are looking at you as couples goals, you're probably with a high valued man or a high valued woman. And if that's the case and you found that person attractive, why wouldn't other people? So you have to avoid the limelight. It doesn't matter. You can be a public person and live in private. People do it all the time. Number 7, focus on your own interest. And this ties back into something I was mentioning earlier, when you can't lose yourself. You have to have your own interest, because if you're up my ass or I'm up your ass 24/7, what are we going to talk about? We can't compare days. You can't get mad at me for not liking your Instagram picture. I told you I liked the picture when you took it. I was there. You got to like in person. So you have to have your own interest. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. Okay, tell me about it. The only thing that does is bring commonality back, so that you guys don't get bored with each other and you're constantly chasing each other, constantly dating each other. And number 8, compromise on scheduling. Now, any parents out there can agree with me on this. You don't have to be a power couple to have to compromise on schedule, because even sex is had on the baby schedule. Or if you're in a power couple status, hey, look, I'm gonna get off this plane at like 5 o'clock. Have to stop by the office real quick, like 9 o'clock. I know you're tired, but baby, keep the light on for me. These are conversations that are had inside the walls of power couples. Can you handle it? Truth of the matter is, a lot of people will say that they can, but they can't. And you won't know that you can't handle it until you're put in that situation. The struggles. Power struggles that happen inside of power couples. Now, before we break this down, there are positive and negative struggles. And this is why the cooperation piece is so important. Remember, fit, friendly, feminine, and cooperative. And this is why cooperation is so important, because the positive struggles are things that you can come together on. Me and you versus the world. I got you, boo. I'm your rock. I'm your solace. I'm your peace. I got you. But the negative struggles, the negative struggle. Those are what happens. That's what happens inside of the household. This is when alpha meets boss. And you guys are going to butt heads because you can't agree on anything. There are 10 things. There are 10 things that average couples argue about. And some of these things apply to power couples, but most of them don't. The 10 things: money, family communication, children. Are we going to have kids? Where should the kids go to school? How are we going to discipline when they mess up? Intimacy. And here we go. Again, you've had your trigger warning, but when it comes to intimacy, a power couple has an understanding. Okay? I'm not going to embarrass you, and I'm not going to make you look stupid. But with your schedule and my schedule, the chances of me having extracurricular activities and the chances of you having extracurricular activities are better than not. Infidelity happens, or as Kevin Samuel says, the exercising of options happens. And this is to all you high and mighty, holier than thou. I can't forgive a man for cheating. If he cheats on me, I'm done. And listen. This is, I told you at the very beginning, this is next level shit. Now, the average couple can argue about intimacy. We can argue about intimacy when it's not had, because you're doing regular people shit. You may be a manager, a bank teller, post office employee, and I'm not shitting on these jobs at all. I'm not. But you 9 times out of 10, you're working a 9 to 5. Some of you guys got 2 jobs, a 9 to 5. Then you come home, go to sleep 10 to 6. Rinse, wash, repeat. So you've got a little bit of time here, there, and a little flexibility. But power couples ain't got time for that shit. We're putting in 70, 80-hour weeks, making shit happen. So when you're fatigued, sometimes intimacy might lack. But before I jump on the red eye to Chicago, there may be somebody in Chicago, and that has to be something that you're okay with. Otherwise, don't preach this power couple's goals to me. Don't do it, because it happens. 5 times they argue about time. I just touched on that. I just touched on time. Listen, we're not. If you think that you don't have time working 2 jobs or 2 average jobs, don't attempt the power couple lifestyle, because if you're the recipient of the benefits of the power couple, as in you're not the primary earner inside of that relationship, then the primary earner is not going to have time to deal with you. There's a household that you need to run while he or she is making money, bringing home the bacon. And that's why I don't understand I don't understand. I don't get it. Why these women, you talk out of both sides of your mouth. Hey, I want a man who earns, six figures and that has the respect of the world when he walks into a room, dresses nice house, nice car. Oh, but he better not cheat. He better make time for me. He better no. So all y'all out there just reposting these memes, talking about your man better make time for you. You're not ready for this shit. So if you're coming out of your mouth saying, hey, I want to be a power couple with somebody one day, this is the kind of stuff you better be prepared for. Otherwise, you're just blowing smoke. Or you better mentally prepare yourself and lock the fuck in, because this is the type of stuff that happens on a daily basis. It's casual. So don't compare yourself to Will and Jada. Don't compare yourself to Jay-Z and Beyonce, Gates and Melinda, Jeff Bezos. Don't do that. We all saw how that played out. Bill Gates is not attractive by any stretch of the imagination, but he had a side piece, didn't he? That's all I'm saying. Number 6, priorities. Average couples argue about average people priorities, as in you can't go hang out at the bar with your boys because I have to work tonight and somebody needs to babysit. When we're talking about power couples, we're talking about whose goals, who's going to grow and take the promotion at that time inside of the business. And ultimately, to resolve conflict, like I was talking about a few minutes ago, to resolve conflict, somebody has to have veto power. And this is why high-valued men, high-earning men want a woman that's cooperative, if not all the way submissive. Because I have to have veto power. We can discuss everything all day long. And if we can't come to an agreement inside of this negotiation, I have to be able to shut this conversation down. This is what we're doing. And if you can't get on board with that, somebody will. It's a harsh pill to swallow, but it's so damn true. Harsh pill. But that's what it is. I have to have the ability to shut shit down. And that's why the cooperative and the submissive piece comes in. Number 7, jealousy. You can't be in a power couple and be jealous. Can't do it. It doesn't work. Hasn't worked. Never will work. Why? Because businessmen, businesswomen, the high earners, the people that it takes to be inside of a power couple. These people, they make money based off of relationships. Yeah, okay, you may sell a product, but it's ultimately how much can you sell yourself. It's about relationships, and with those relationships comes a little bit of flirting. It comes late night dinners to sign contracts. It comes drinks out with the bar. It takes flights. It takes phone calls at all types of the morning and everything. So you can't afford to be jealous. I've had personal experience with this. Where I'm out trying to make moves, whether it was wrestling, promoting a book, promoting a podcast, promoting a movie, shooting a movie, auditioning, just trying to get to the status that I am right now. And I had the vision in my mind, and my partner at the time was not about that life. They were jealous, and that ultimately cost me the relationship. But you know what? I'm okay with that, because I've arrived. So I'm okay with that. And anybody in a power couple relationship is willing to cut ties with you over that. No, you're too jealous. I can't do this. You're interfering with my transactions. You're telling me you're trying to change the way that I make money. You're trying to change the person that I am. And there's no trust here. So the best business decision would be to drop you off right here. and they move on. No hard feelings on the one side. No hard feelings from the dumper. All the hard feelings are with the dumpee. And the dumpee then jumps on social media. All men are trash. I can't believe he did me like this. Why? This is what you said that you wanted. This is what you signed up for. Hashtag couples goals. Hashtag power couple. Something that average couples argue about more so than power couples. Number 8 and number 9, religion and politics. Those are self-explanatory. With religion, you're dealing with 69% of people marry or date within the same religion. So that's not so much a problem for the godless, the power couples out here, right? The ones that we're going to hell because we got all of the money. The religion's not so much of a big deal, and politics is not so much of a big deal because when you're dealing with power couples, you're probably in the same tax bracket. And if you're not, and you manage to date up or to marry up out of your tax bracket, then you better get on board with the high earners tax bracket, because that's what's putting food on your table. That's what's putting the bags in the closet. That's what's keeping your fit body lined in those nice dresses. So you best get on board with that. Number 10, average couples argue about the past. So do power couples, but not so much, because it doesn't fucking matter. As a power couple, you can't afford to be looking back. So I'm not going to be answering questions that you have about something that I did 5 years ago. I'm not doing it. Don't have time for it. Don't have the patience for it. Does this suck? Yeah, it does. Does this make me sound insensitive? Yeah, it does. But remember, this is what you signed up for. This is the power couple shit that you said that you wanted. Hashtag couples goals, right? And at the end of the day, it's not in the nature of a boss bitch or an alpha male to be submissive and or cooperative. It doesn't fit within the character. It doesn't. So what do? They sit at a table, come up with a BATNA, right? A BATNA, a bottom acceptable terms of negotiation. In other words, here's what I'm willing to accept. Here's what I'm willing to let slide. Here's what I'm willing to lack on here for the greater good. And this is what you guys are saying that you want. This is what the modern woman says that they want. Notice how I mentioned nothing about chivalry. I mentioned nothing about loyalty. I mentioned nothing about emotions. This list, these lists, I presented several lists tonight. These lists of things, straight like that. So the next time you hashtag couples goals, hashtag power couple, this is what you're signing up for. So I ask you, is this really what you want? Comment, email me, talk2gml@gmail.com. Email right here inside of the lounge. Let me know what you think, because I guarantee you this is not. And hopefully, and honestly, in all honesty, I hope that this conversation that I'm attempting to have with you, that I'm opening for you, makes you take a second look at what you're hashtagging and what you're wishing for in life. Because you're saying that you want one thing, but it's not anything like you think that you want. I've been on both sides of this. Men, let me know if you agree. Women, let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Hit the likes, hit the dislikes. Tell me in the comments. But be able to back up your shit. This has been another episode of the VSOP Lounge. I thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Did you enjoy what you just watched? Be sure to give Grown Man Logic a listen on all streaming services and follow us on all forms of social media. We'll see you next time.